Alright, so got the Eclair finished up. As you can see, I have some 3-inch props in the back and 2.5 in the front. I just did that for fun. I'll probably chop these down to 2.5. I'm not sure exactly what it does to the flight controller. I know the flight controller takes care of the situation, and it flies perfect how it is. But I'm not too sure if I'm actually getting more thrust, with the 3-inch in the back and the 2.5 in the front. I don't really know. I mean, it'll shoot straight up in the air. It's not like the back goes forward more because it has bigger props, So I don't know how that works, but I don't think it's any better. So I'll probably just chop them down. But it's pretty cool you can fit 3-inch in the back. I'm wondering if there's some way to change up these side plates a little bit to accommodate 3-inch in the front as well. That'd be kind of cool. But this is the one with the rotorx 1107s. These motors are pretty sweet so far. I hovered it once, and as it is on 3S, it had quite a bit of power, and the motors didn't even get warm. I mean, usually the motors will get warm, and sometimes hot. These didn't even get warm, so I was pretty impressed with that. Pretty happy about it. But let's check it out real quick in a little hover. I can't fly it outside because it's pouring down rain. But let me bring this over here. It's pretty quiet too. My freaking disarm switch, I don't know what happened. Hold on a second. I must not have flipped it all the way. I thought for a second my disarm wasn't working right. So yeah, the motors aren't even warm. They're just like room temperature. It's crazy. The next thing I need to check out is how efficient they are. So I'm going to have to do a flight with this 450 and see how long I get, because if they're that efficient, to be able to use a 450 on it with 2.5-inch props, that would be awesome. Because that's what I'm used to using is these 450 tattoos, 3 cells. They're so tiny, with those DYS 1104 6500. That's what I was always using. That was like the perfect setup. 2.5-inch prop and those 450s and the DYS motors. It was like the perfect ultimate combination. So the rest of the build is I got the Microlux V2, which I'm pretty happy about. Or happy with, I guess I should say. This was my first time using it, and it worked excellent. It was so easy to wire up. On the bottom side, there was just the 4 signal wires, and they were all lined up in a row. So you could just go straight from the 4-in-1 up, and solder the 4 wires. It was no problem. And everything was correct. It said signal 1. I put the signal 1 from the 4-in-1 to the signal 1, and it was actually signal 1. So didn't have to change anything around or anything. The OSD works excellent. I had some kind of issue where I didn't see the OSD on the screen at all, so I was like, oh shit, it doesn't work. But then I put my goggles on, went into Betaflight, and started moving the stuff around on the screen. And I had to move it way up on the screen to get it to show up in my goggles. But once I figured out where the bottom was, you know, I lined it all up. And it was on auto. I tried NTSC, and it didn't change anything. And I know it wasn't PAL because it's an NTSC camera, so I just kept it on auto and then just moved everything up, and now it's all at the bottom of the screen. So yeah, this is the Lumineer 25 amp 4-in-1. Awesome ESC, and it's definitely going to be enough for this. It's not too heavy. Obviously, if this build was too heavy, these motors would be getting hot. So let's get a weight. These motors are nice and smooth too, really smooth and quiet. Yeah, good job. Alright, let's check this out. 103. Not bad for an 1107 motor. Quad. Yeah, that's a really good weight. Really good. So yeah, I just really can't wait to fly it. Just gotta wait for the weather to change. It's shitty ass weather here in Washington State. It's just pouring down rain and ice cold. What else? Oh yeah, I got the TX200 on here. The full speed RC TX200. I mounted it to the back of the... This is an Arrow. And I found out that the TX200 doesn't line up. The holes don't line up with the Arrow. It only works with the Swift Micro. So on the Swift Micro, you can screw it down. On the Arrow, you need to use like some foam or something. I used some foam. Can't really see very good from this angle. You can see right there, there's foam in between the TX200 and the camera. And it works fine. And you can see there's still plenty of room. The wires are kind of in the way, so you can't really tell, but there's still plenty of room in between the stack and the TX200. So I can get way more angle. I can get as much angle as I want. It's already too high. So yeah, worked out great. And the button is right there. You can get to it no problem. Change channels and stuff. Yeah. Pretty sweet. So next video of this bad boy will be some DVR. Also got coming up, I think I mentioned it, orange peels on my fingernails. I'm doing the Atom83. The canopy came from Shapeways. Shapeways is so awesome. Oh my god, look at this canopy. It's the most beautiful canopy I've ever seen. And it's feather light. Seriously, it doesn't weigh anything. I bet it doesn't even show up on this scale. Oh, it says 3, but that's just like the TX200 when I weighed it, and then it says 0 the next time, so maybe 1 gram. And it's tough too, really tough. You can bend it, you know, so it's got some give. So pretty awesome. And it's made for the Swift Micro or Arrow Micro, so you also have to use a little separate mount that mounts to the frame, and then this just goes over the top of it. So, and then it screws down. You got to drill out your holes right there for the screws. I think that'll be the screws coming up from the bottom of the frame through the whole stack, and then up through this, and then I just put a nut on top. Or I'll have some standoffs on top of the flight controller and then just screw the screws in down. I don't know. I'll figure it out when it comes. I should be getting the Atom83 frame. I don't know, today or tomorrow, so get started on that build too. Alright,